you see the tomb. So a lot of antiquity was unearthed in Xi'an, such as the terracotta soldiers. So Xi'an, this city, we have.
Just one moment here.
Đây là phi trường Xi'an. Từ Beijing tới Xi'an bay 2 tiếng đồng hồ tới Xi'an.
We need a massage, right?
Is your seat here?
Huh?
Your seat?
No, it's okay. We can sit together.
Oh, okay. Maybe next time I move down.
It's okay. No problem. 我是把麦克风开一下。Sharp， 你先讲。老板先讲。吴师傅啊。
All right, everybody. Here we are in Xi'an. Shall we double check the passports with you? Last group of last year, a girl unzipped her backpack and lost it on the plane. Yeah. Double check. Okay, double check. Okay. I'm going to collect them.
I was saying, if you want to study 400 years old Chinese history, you should go to
Ancient capital of China, yeah, which is Xi'an. Yeah. Have been the capital for many dynasties. Yeah. But it's not a old city. Yeah. It is a old and modern. Yeah. Old and new. Yeah. Also a big town. Yeah, with lots of things. Yeah. And then we are having our local host.
to Shanghai. If you want to study more than 1,000 years old Chinese history, you should go to Beijing. If you want to study more than 3,000 years old, you should come.
Chắc hồi xưa giá mình đi vô cái chỗ này trước ha, bị tối đó.
Tối thì máy bay về đó.
Dám đi. Chắc đi con đường khác thì sao? Chẳng hiểu. Hồi xưa mình đi Shanghai mình mới bay mà, chứ còn đi vòng đây mình đâu có bay. Mày nhớ không? Đi ngày này ngoài kia cái xuyên mấy cái có đi không?
Mình chỉ đi ra trên cái Shanghai thôi, đâu được đi xe.
Không được hả? Ô, hoàn toàn mới với mình. Được cái tour cái này mình được đi nhiều chỗ. Đó mình được kỳ này cái chuyến này mình đi nhiều nơi, mình không có phải đi mấy cái factory nhiều. Đó, anh thích vô ăn mấy cái quán, anh vô mấy cái quán đơn sơ vậy vui ấy. Yeah. Dễ sợ như building high-rise kinh khiếp thiệt, đông dân mà phải không?
Chỉ có
90 đó, 90
là còn 7 tuần thôi. Bây giờ ở
thôi nhưng mà nói chung.
You can see on your left hand side there's a wedding car passing by. Wedding car.
Oh.
Pass by. With the purple ribbon tied on the mirror. So during the holiday, that's also the busy time for people to get married, have the wedding ceremony.
And the wedding just occur in the weekend or during the weekday too?
Weekend or holidays.
Oh, weekend and holiday
Pick up
only.
lucky dates
Oh, okay.
according to the Chinese lunar calendar.
Okay.
上个团怎么样？这边的团队。
没有。
Đây là đi vô thành phố Xi'an. Bây giờ là khoảng có chừng 9:30, 10 giờ sáng. Xe cộ rất là đông đúc. Nhà cao tầng mọc lên rất nhiều để đưa dân chúng vào đó. Sorry. Giới sở ở thành phố này 30 triệu dân thôi. Hơn Beijing kinh thì.
cái đâm linh với sau bếp rồi cái nhà đó cũng có bán này được thấy không ngay trước cửa nhà đó
Thành phố Xi'an này khoảng 30 triệu dân.
không có đi xem chưa đi đâu đi cái cherry
Xi'an. Xi is west and is peace. Xi'an is western peace. This is a name we've been using since 1369, and from the Zhou dynasty, we started to be called Chang'an, which means the eternal peaceful city of China. Why it's always peaceful? Because it has a good feng shui. For Chinese people, we like feng shui very much. We believe if the city faces river in front in the north, the city leaning against the mountains in the south. That's a
Đây là nhà đang đi trên những cái cầu vượt nhìn xuống dưới đường phía dưới.
Broken maybe from Beijing. That car is from Beijing.
good feng shui. Xi'an faces 8 tributaries of the Yellow River. We call 精卫产坝、分蒿、橘皂 8 branches of the Yellow River in the north, and we are sitting against the Qinling Mountain in the south. Qinling Mountain is the reason why we are also always considered the peaceful city in China. This mountain is another way besides the Yangtze River, which separate China into north and south. So geographically speaking, China looks like a rooster, Beijing is the neck, Xi'an is the heart, Shanghai is the foot. So we are located in the Midwest, but we are still called the Northern Chinese because of the Qinling Mountain. Qinling Mountain is the biggest mountain range in China, right across the whole country from east to the west. So in Xi'an, we are surrounded by mountains on 3 sides. So here, it's always very peaceful, very prosperous. We are called the land of the emperors and kings. The soil here is extremely rich. So in ancient times, Xi'an was the only city which could feed 20 to 1378. The total length of the city wall is 14 kilometers, 9 miles.
Wow.
It's covered with bricks. The foundation inside is built with lime, sand, rammed earth, kiwi juice, and sticky rice. Yes, I mean it.
Really?
In ancient times, we had no cement, so that's how we build the wall. So this is the outer city. You can see the castellation, and the other side is a flat wall. It was built to prevent the shortage of over 1 million people in one city. We grow winter wheat and summer corn. In the fields now you see the wheat. So most of the Xi'an people like to eat noodles every day. Noodles or dumplings. Tonight many of us are going to enjoy the dumpling banquet. That is the most special food in Xi'an. It is a meal consists of more than around 15 different courses of dumpling, made into different shapes with different fillings inside, all hand wrapped. The noodles as well. So Northern Chinese, we eat wheat because our weather here is too dry. Like in Beijing, you already experience very dry. After several days, you feel your skin feels a little bit too dry. Yeah. So we cannot grow rice. In southern China, they eat a lot of rice because they are more moisturized. So in here, we are called the noodle men. Noodle men are bigger and taller. In southern China, people are called the rice men. They are smaller, they are petiter. So we are also called the dumpling men in Xi'an because people here we eat too much dumplings. We are very round face, dumpling face. On your right hand side, in a minute, you are going to see a tomb from 3,000 years ago to soldiers to shoot arrows against enemies. We call the Zhou Dynasty, 11th century BC. You can see on your right, that's a big man-made mound. Underneath, the 3,000 years ago, our king was buried underneath that tomb. Of course, with innumerous numbers of treasures and antiques inside. We are left with more than 2,000 man-made tombs like this. Only a few older ones has been unearthed, but most of them have been raided. Even they've been raided, plundered, but still, we can unearth thousands and thousands of relics. There are only 2 tombs is 100% intact. One is the tomb of the Emperor Qin. The terracotta soldiers is a part of the tomb construction from 200 BC. One is the only. You see, every 120 meters, you see a little watchtower sticking out on the wall. That is because one arrow shot distance in ancient time was 60 meters far. So between 2 towers is just within the range of arrow shot from each other. Anything you don't need to take for the restaurant to have lunch, you can leave it on the bus. No problem, very safe. But your own valuables, please always take it with you. Your wallet, your passport is okay to leave on the bus. Okay. Your wallet, please always take it with you. You see, every 120 meters, you see a little watchtower sticking out on the wall. That is because one arrow shot distance in ancient time was 60 meters far. So between 2 towers is just within the range of arrow shot from each other. Anything you don't need to take for the restaurant to have lunch, you can leave it on the bus. No problem, very safe. But your own valuables, please always take it with you. Your wallet, your passport is okay to leave on the bus. Okay. Your wallet, please always take it with you.
Đó những cái cây này ha. Có lần
Only female emperor in Chinese history, Empress Wu. Her tomb. This is the only two. These are only two tombs in Xi'an, which has never been and which has never been excavated. It's never been robbed. These two emperors very special. One is a female emperor. One is the first emperor. So 3,000 years ago in your history, that's the Roman Empire. From 3,000 years ago, that's when we started to use chopsticks. Why we use chopsticks? Because around 11th century BC, our king one day had a long day of working. He was exhausted. He invited his officials to have a banquet with him. When he just sat down, he saw one dish was brought to the table. He was too hungry. He didn't wait. He picked up the meat right away with his fingers when it was still too hot. They ate with their fingers at that time. So the meat was so hot.
ở đây là chỗ đi ăn trưa sau khi từ phi trường về tới chỗ đi ăn trưa, về tới chỗ đi ăn trưa ở đây.
He burned his fingers right away. His fingers started to be swollen. He couldn't eat with his fingers anymore. So his wife, the empress, she saw that she was very smart and quick responsive. She took off her two hairpin, which was made of white jade sticks, and then gave the king to eat with that. The king saw that's very smart. And then he ordered everybody to be eating royal families with two jade sticks. So
Bên trong cái nhà hàng chỗ đi ăn trưa ở đây.
the royal families at the beginning, they used the jade chopsticks. Jade is supposed to be good for your health. And then the common people, they use the porcelain.
It's dessert, isn't it? Those are the crumbs. That's a good idea.
Chopsticks or silver chopsticks for the royal families, and then wooden chopsticks. That's right, and that's.
Line up.
When we started to cast a lot of bronze, tomorrow at the Terracotta Warriors and Horses Museum, you are going to see the world's biggest, oldest, and the most valuable bronzeware. That is called the bronze chariots. In all the tombs, one thing we discovered the most exquisite is the bronzeware. So that's another.
先走了，他要走。
Chủ nhật mình thấy học sinh nhiều lắm.
以后坚决不提那一口。我看了，觉得你刚才说吃嘛，你的时候那个绝望的眼神特别。
Sẽ bớt sự lái hay ha.
If you want to wander around the hotel, outside the hotel, turn left, then turn left. This is the back street of our hotel. There are a small convenience store, food store, little restaurant tonight or tomorrow night. If you want to come here to eat for dinner, you can come here to eat, no problem. You don't accept foreign currencies or a credit card. These are all smaller restaurants, so it won't be much. Very inexpensive, so you can come here, pay by Chinese. But if you go to a Chinese restaurant, doesn't matter, hotel outside. If you go to a good-sized restaurant, they ask you what kind of tea do you like. So all of these tea, they are not free. They are not complimentary. So some of the tea is very expensive. For example, one pot of tea will be $30, 40 Canadian dollars. So if you go to a restaurant and ask you what kind of tea, you should ask how much it is. Because in a good sized restaurant, the tea is not complimentary anymore. So you have to pay for the tea. But by Chinese culture, people will not say, this is how much is a tea. People don't say it up front. Why? Because Chinese customers will think, if the people bring it up, say how much it is, they think this is insulting. So our culture, people don't say how much. They don't tell you, but you can ask them. Then they will tell you how much. They don't say, what kind of tea do you like? I want jasmine. Okay, it's 200 yuan a pot. They don't say that. It doesn't sound right. You understand, right? Yes. All right, so here we are. This is our hotel. Please follow us. People talk, me and the driver talk. Sometimes you feel a little bit scared because we talk with a very stiff tone. That's called the voice of the Qin dynasty. It's one of the 8 strangeness of Xi'an. It's called speaking sounds like a fighting. So when the other Chinese people come to Xi'an, they love to listen to the local accent because they think it's so funny. And then we like to squat more than the rest of Chinese because from the Qin dynasty, men were not supposed to take off their armors when they rested in the daytime, when they ate, because they were afraid if they took off their armors, if the enemies came, they will all be killed. So our ancestral men, they didn't take off their armors at all when they rested in the daytime. So they like to squat when they eat. Still today, squatting is more comfortable than sitting in Xi'an. So that's good for digestion. So at home in the countryside, especially rural area, everybody, elderly, young kids, men and women, everybody squat when we eat. That's another strangeness of Xi'an. And then from 119 BC, after Qin, very short-lived dynasty, we started our Silk Road in here. Have you heard of Silk Road? Yes. Silk Road started from Xi'an, went all the way to Rome from 119 BC. We use silk to change for horse. That's the first.
Khách sạn tầng thứ 10, tầng thứ 11 chứ, tầng thứ 11. Giờ tầng thứ 11, đây là chính giữa, đây là cái khách sạn Holiday Inn. Để nhìn xuống chút dưới tầng giữa dưới kia.
Motive of opening up the Silk Road. You can have a look. This is the Yellow River, very shallow. We don't have any, transportation on the Yellow River anymore. But in ancient times, this is the key navigation course in China. Xi'an is the only city right across 2 river system in China. This is Yellow River, 8 branches. And we have a big river we call Han River. It's the biggest branch of the Yangtze River in south part of Xi'an. So Xi'an is the city right in between the north and south. So various goods can be shipped in and out from Xi'an through the Yellow River to north, Yangtze River to south. That's why this was the most popular feudal capital, and it was the longest capital. So Silk Road enabled Chinese people to exchange a lot of horses back to China. And finally, we conquered Mongolian and Huns. That's when Attila Han invaded Europe, so many Europeans came to Xi'an to stay instead. So from 7 there will be boiled dumpling, steamed
Đây là
dumpling.
buổi
If you
chiều
see a pig dumpling,
ngày
looks
Chủ
like a
nhật
pig.
mùng 2
Inside is pork.
April
If you see a
2nd.
duck, inside is duck.
Bữa giờ rời khách
If you see a
sạn để
fish,
đi
inside is fish.
có cái
Not
dumpling
everyone is
banquet
symbolic, but quite a lot is symbolic. It's all
ở
handmade,
đây
not
tại thành
machine
phố
made. This
Xi'an.
dumpling banquet has more than 1,300 years old
Thành
history.
phố này có
And
khoảng
then the
chừng
boiled
33
dumpling
triệu
looks like
người.
your ear. So we have a dumpling festival in China. It's called the Winter Holiday, Winter Festival. We call it Winter Solstice. That is the day, the night is the longest, the day is the shortest, the coldest day of the year. So Chinese and sisters, They said if you don't eat your dumpling, looks like your ear. The weather is too cold, your ears will be dropped off. So better to eat the dumpling. And then the show starts from 7:30 on to 8:40, 1 hour and 10 minutes. No break, no intermission. So before the show starts, please use the happy room, the bathroom. Okay, on both sides we find the bathroom. For the show, before the show starts, they give you a bottle of mineral water to drink complimentary. By the way, some guests asked me just now, can the drink water be drinkable? No. Tap water is not drinkable anywhere in China. It's not. If you want to drink hot water, as Chinese do, you can boil the water. Every room has a kettle. You can boil the water. In the room, there are 2 bottles of the local complimentary water, local brand. That is free of charge. And if you want to get more water, you can, in the back of the hotel, on the left, go behind. There are a lot of convenience store. You can buy water very easily if you want more. And then the show is about the concubine and the emperor from the Tang Dynasty. 1300 years ago, we had a very smart, capable, hardworking emperor. He's been working a lot for most of his life. And when he turned 60 years old, one day he was walking in the garden. He saw a gorgeous lady was dancing with silk dresses, Tang Dynasty. He was so amazed by her because she was very beautiful and danced very beautiful too. So he was attracted to her, and they started to talk because the emperor didn't wear his regular yellow robe. So the lady didn't recognize him as the emperor. Ancient times, there's no Facebook. So people don't know what each other look like. And before they met, they don't know, they don't have a clue. And then the emperor had a nice conversation with the lady because they were great musicians. She was a good music player. He was a great music writer, a lyric writer, poet. So the eunuch soon after the girl left told the emperor, "Oh, dear majesty, you cannot marry her because she is your daughter-in-law. She already got married to your 18th son." The emperor was very disappointed, so he gave up. For 3 years, he was very depressed. And then one day, his son sent his concubine to a nunnery become a nun. So he talked to his son. His Tang emperor, they were minority themselves. They were minority nationality. So they are very open-minded. Of course, after he told his son, he was quite attracted to his previous concubine. The son didn't mind. He encouraged his father to go pick her up and take her back to the Forbidden City. And the emperor got approval from the empress and all the court officials' approval. So he went to the nunnery and picked her up. For 3 years, the concubine felt very strange. She didn't want to marry the emperor. Finally, 6 years later, since they talked, she finally said yes. She became the emperor's favorite concubine. For her, emperor refused to talk to any other 3,000 concubines. The emperor could have more than 3,000 court concubines. He only wanted to see her every day. He gave up working. He did not want to go to any court meetings. He took her to travel, built her hot spring in Xi'an. It's called Winter Palace, near the terracotta warriors, for her to enjoy the hot spring spa. Emperor loved her so much, but that made a lot of people really angry because they think she changed him. He was such a hardworking emperor, and then he changed into a very lazy emperor. So one of the minority nationality general, he rose the rebellion. They came. They killed the emperor's bodyguards. The emperor was protected by his generals and escaped. On the way, they were so angry with the lady, concubine. They forced the emperor, you need to kill her, otherwise we will not go with you any further. We will not be your servants anymore. So the emperor was very smart. He winked at the eunuch. He gave the eunuch in front of everybody a poisonous pill, put it in the wine, and asked him to give it this wine, poisonous wine to her for her to drink. After she took the wine, she was heartbroken. She just swallowed the wine. That she passed out. And for a few seconds, she lost her heartbeats. So the doctor was sent to check her pulse. They touched her pulse, no heartbeat. They were so convinced. So they took emperor to run. Let's go, continue. And the eunuch was very smart. He hid himself behind the tree. He never left. So after they left, the eunuch put the antidote into the concubine's mouth and then sent her to the village and protected her. After the rebellion was crushed, the emperor was able to come back to Xi'an to sit back on his throne to be the emperor again. But he didn't want to be the emperor anymore. He gave up. He resigned. He gave his throne to his son. and he started a new life, which was a commoner. He went to the village and got reunited with her and lived happily afterwards. Yeah, this is the concubine and the emperor. In the show, you can see it's all about her. There's a one singing. Every time I listen to that music, it makes me feel very emotional. It's called Spring Outing. That's
Bán quần áo nó nhiều
the
này,
song.
chè Dung.
Lyric was ancient song. There was no such thing called poems in
Đó,
ancient times.
shopping.
All lyrics for the song.
Hình như đây nó có cái
So
khu
this
đường
is a
không?
song
Có
written by
đường bán
her
quần
for
áo
him.
không? Giống vậy,
It says,
chắc
you
vậy
know, we
ha.
are
Đường này bán
big
quần áo
age
nhiều.
gap. When they got married, she was only 27. He was already 66 years old. Even they were big age gapped, but they loved each other very much. They had no children together, but their music got passed down. But the lady wrote, even we are big age gapped, but I don't want anything except for you. It's to remember their spring outing together. In a beautiful green silk dress, you can see lots of different musical instrument performance and royal life and about their love together. In the end, you can see emperor, of course, the performer dressed up like an emperor and concubine dancing together. That is the most romantic emperor and concubine from the Tang Dynasty. This is not a made-up fiction Mary was telling you. This is a true story, true history written in China by Chinese scholars, and we have a song to describe their love. It's called the Song of Eternal Hatred, because the emperor, just because of her, he almost lost his country. So the poet is called the Song of the Eternal Hatred, because they didn't quite appreciate the emperor's choice to choose the beauty rather than the country. He's the only one chose the beauty rather than the country. So hope you will like the show. The bus will be parked inside the theater parking lot. We'll be right in front of the gate. So after the show is finished, there'll be lots of people coming out. So you can come to the bus. You all come to the bus to meet. It's easier to count on the bus rather than inside with all the other groups together. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. For the drinks, for the show, for the dinner tonight, we have 1 glass of the soft drink is included, beer, Sprite, Coca, mineral water, also a cup of the rice wine, which was also created by her. It's called the Chinese sticky rice wine. It's only 3% of alcohol in it. And then before the show starts, maybe 7:15, 7:20, they will serve you a bottle of mineral water to drink as well. Our bus has a Cinerama company's name, Bus 1 sign in front, and also the number is 1585. 1585. So after the show, you just come back to the bus, meet sharp, okay? To 10th century in the history of Xi'an, we were the golden age, and in the Europe, that's the dark age. So that is when we had more than 30,000 foreigners. Silk Road did not only give us horses, also religions, jewelries, glass, silver, gold. Buddhism came to Xi'an from India around 60 BC. Christianity came from Europe from 635 AD. Muslim came to Xi'an to China from 651, only after 50 years after Muhammad established Muslim. So that is why Silk Road is very important in Chinese history. It is the first, the biggest, the usual Asia trading route. A Chinese sent tea, spice, jade,
Đây
leather.
là cái theater for dynasty dancing tonight. But over here, opera house. But before we can go to for dumpling banquet. Dumpling banquet festival.
Chị có thể tưởng tượng cái giá như vậy.
Do.
Hello. Okay, yeah. You can go.
Yeah.
No problem.
All right. All right. Well, then we have popcorn. Don't know that it's missing one. You don't put them in the soy sauce, right? So that's the end. It's like what
文治武功，国力振兴。邦陵和睦，丝绸之路畅通，边塞平静，庶民安守太平。佳节之夜，围城。率陵园弟子歌舞新曲席前助兴，恭请聆听。
Formed by His Majesty's first Imperial of the Tang Dynasty in 618 AD, our great holy Tang Dynasty is celebrated for its wise and resourceful government, military achievements, good national traditions, flourishing Silk Road, strong and prosperity in national power of the peaceful lines. The common people on this eve of happy festival time. I would like to lead all the actors and actresses of our theater to entertain you with fantastic music and dances. Please enjoy yourselves. First of all, we present you with instruments playing in unison. The song is named The Huaqing Palace.
作部合曲《华清宫》。
Thank